The only newscast in true high definition, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 10 p.m.
Straight ahead at 10, a Texoma mother indicted on several charges in her own baby's death. Tonight, she breaks her silence exclusively to News 12. Plus, a 2-year-old back in safe hands tonight. An Arkansas kidnapping suspect behind bars here in Texoma. What led police to the rescue? And 2 people arrested in connection with the death of a Lamar County woman where police found those suspects. Welcome to News 12 at 10. I'm Dan Thomas. Maureen has the night off. We've got breaking news right now coming out of Paris tonight. Police arrest a young man and a young woman wanted in connection with the death of an elderly woman in Lamar County. They say that a tip led them to find the suspects at a hotel in the Tulsa area. Our own Matthew Boyd was at the murder scene in Lamar County all day, waiting for confirmation about just what exactly happened from the sheriff's office. He's live in Paris with more. Matthew?
Thanks, Dan. Sapulpa police say the arrest occurred more than 170 miles away from where the woman's body was found earlier this afternoon. Now, this afternoon, the Lamar County Sheriff's Office and Texas Rangers did tell me that a body had been located off of FM 2648 north of Paris. We're not yet sure who the woman is or how she was discovered. Investigators tell KXII-TV that they tracked the suspects to a Motel 6 in Sapulpa. Police surrounded the motel armed with their rifles and then found the suspects in their motel room on the 2nd floor. Police consider the 2 suspects, a male and female juvenile, armed and dangerous. Now, guests staying in the motel say they were surprised to see the cops outside their rooms. Sapulpa Police Captain Steve Taylor says the suspects did surrender peacefully. Investigators also found this silver car the young man and woman drove from Texas. Right now, Sapulpa Police are waiting for a search warrant to enter the motel room where the 2 suspects were staying, and we'll continue to bring you more details as we get them. For now, I'm live outside the Lamar County Sheriff's Office. Matthew Boyd, News 12.
Matthew, thank you. We'll, of course, have updates on KXII.com. In other news, a suspected kidnapper in the Atoka County Jail tonight. Police say he was on the run with a 2-year-old from Rogers, Arkansas. News 12's Danielle King was at the scene when police found the child.
After nearly 12 hours, this 2-year-old is on his way back to his mother. Pizza Hut manager Pam Wagner saw the whole thing.
They pulled the gentleman out, and I didn't know there was a child involved until one of my customers said that there was a little boy.
Wagner then brought the child a pizza and a soda.
He was just talking away. You could tell he was scared because he wasn't sure what was going on.
Police say 30-year-old Brent Wilkes got in a physical fight with the child's mother. And that's when she says he took the child from their home in Rogers, Arkansas around 2:30 a.m. An Amber Alert immediately went out. By around 2 that afternoon, over 200 miles away, an alert citizen brought it all to an end.
Motorists had observed a vehicle that they thought fit the description near Kiowa, Oklahoma, southbound on US 69.
Atoka Police Chief Gene Dotson just happened to be nearby, along with a Homeland Security agent.
He continued for a short period down the highway and then through a private parking lot, but we were able to box the vehicle in. He didn't actively flee, but he was not fully compliant either.
The chief says the boy has no signs of injury.
The child was in very good spirits, laughing, playing, smiling.
I just felt really sorry because it's a child.
Wilkes is expected to be extradited to Arkansas. In Atoka, Danielle King, News 12.
And we're learning new details in the investigation into the death of a white right infant. The baby's parents have been indicted on several charges, including manslaughter after that child died in their care. Tonight, the girl's mother is breaking her silence. Here's her exclusive interview with News 12's Daniela Rivera.
I wish she was still here with me. I miss her a lot.
19-year-old Kristen Mayfield tells me losing her 3.5-month baby girl is the worst pain she's ever felt.
Was she expected or was it a surprise? No, she was a surprise. Big surprise. I was very happy about her.
Wednesday, Mayfield found out after seeing a News 12 report that a grand jury had indicted her and the baby's father, 23-year-old Charles Lee, for manslaughter, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and injury to a child.
She was beautiful. She was gorgeous.
In September, Whitewright police answered a call at this apartment for an infant having trouble breathing. Authorities say when EMS arrived, the baby was unresponsive and a plastic bag was found in the crib.
We are continuing to evaluate whether it was totally accidental or more than that, but everybody knows that it's inappropriate to put a choking hazard in a crib.
The autopsy report for Lillian Rose Lee lists asphyxiation as the cause of death.
The baby had some skin conditions that caused problems with the sheets, and it get dirty and things like that, and they decided that in order to prevent the laundry issues, that it would be better to put the plastic bag in there.
The father is still behind bars on a $15,000 bond. Mayfield, who didn't want to show her face, says her attorney advised her not to discuss details of the case, but she agreed to speak with us because she wants people to know she loved her baby.
I miss my baby more and more every day, and I wish that I could just hold her again and kiss her and love on her.
If convicted, both parents face up to life in prison. Daniela Rivera, News 12.
Well, a Lone Grove man is dead after he crashed his vehicle just 50 feet away from his home hours after he had just gotten married. Lone Grove police say it happened just before 11 Wednesday night. 36-year-old Jarrett Marshall hit a tree with his SUV. The tree then collapsed on top of his SUV, pinned him inside that vehicle, and it caught fire. Witnesses unable to get him out in time. Longtime friend of Marshall, Aubrey Harris, says that Marshall married his fiancee Leslie Hobby just hours before that wreck. Harris says the couple also had just found out they are expecting a baby boy. And checking on tonight's weather, rain returns to this forecast. Chief Meteorologist Steve LaNore here to explain. Getting a little bit of a break at the moment, right, Steve?
That's right. We're kind of bookended today between two systems. Of course, we had the rain yesterday. Not much today, just some drizzle and fog, and it's a cool night, too. Temperatures just about where they were 6 hours ago, 42 to 45 degrees. Really haven't changed much at all, and winds are light from the northeast tonight. We're looking at a little bit of patchy fog that has been developing across the area, and expect that visibility to be down. You can see here Durant down to a half mile, so we are seeing some patchy fog that is forming across the area. Now, upstream, here comes the trough. That'll bring a renewed chance of rain by morning. Not as much as we had yesterday, though. What about the weekend? Got those numbers when I come back.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, Steve. And moviegoers, veterans here in Texoma reacting to the news that the comedy The Interview will not be released. News 12's Ashley Park is live in the studio to tell us just what they're saying. Ashley?
Dan, federal investigators are saying they believe North Korea is behind the Sony Pictures hack, as well as the threats to many movie theaters that were going to show the movie. Today, people I spoke with say the movie should be treated just like it is, a comedy.
I was really surprised to hear that the Koreans had hacked into Sony.
Charlie Brown is a Korean War veteran who served as a corporal along the borders of South Korea. He vividly remembers his time overseas.
If you've been over there, you don't make fun of these people. They killed a lot of people. And they had a tremendous army at one time.
I'm going to North Korea! The Interview is about two American journalists played by Seth Rogen and James Franco who are set out to kill North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. But Brown says this film is just like any other comedy out there.
The movie has got it's a spoof. It's a real fantasy, because it's just, to me, after being over there and seeing what it is on the border, I just don't see how anybody could even think about doing it.
And that's exactly what other moviegoers think about the comedy as well.
It's a comedy. It's not like a documentary or anything serious. So it should be taken as a comedy.
And now they're left to wonder if they will ever see the movie.
It makes a person want to see it even more now that they pull it out of the movie theaters. You know, people are just going to be more interested on it.
Once Sony pulled the plug on the movie's release, some theaters said they would show Team America World Police, which makes light of North Korea and Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il. But today, those theaters announced Paramount Pictures also pulled that movie from theaters. Live in the studio, Ashley Park, News 12.
All right, thanks, Ashley. Coming up on News 12 at 10, OSBI investigating a deputy-involved shooting after the deputy says that he was attacked by an inmate. And the Dallas Mavericks make a blockbuster move to land an all-star point guard. The details straight ahead in sports.
You're watching News 12 at 10 p.m. with Maureen Kane. Dan Thomas. Sports with David Reed. And from the Weather Authority, here's Steve LaNore.
Hope you're having a good night. Another one of these heater specials. It is a chilly night across Texoma. There is some patchy fog. You can see here in our live TMC tower cam. Low clouds. It's not all that foggy here at this perspective, but Durant, you're down to a half mile. So we do see some patchy spots where the visibility is not so great. Hey, guess what else? Only 3 days until the winter solstice. That will be at 5:03 p.m. on Sunday. We already gained some winter-style weather here with the chill. But you want to get picky, it'll start on Sunday. That's when we have the winter solstice. That's when the sun's at its lowest angle at noon any time in the entire year in the northern hemisphere. Also, countdown board number 2, Christmas is just 7 days away. And there we go with all the decorations. Don't forget about Toys for Tots, too. A lot of underprivileged children in Texoma could use a little help having some toys under their tree. And, of course, there's many collection sites. We've got them on our website, too, to go and see where there is one nearest you. It's 45 degrees this afternoon, Sherman and Denison. Not too much of a variation here, thanks to all the clouds. Now, we didn't get much rain today. It's a little patchy drizzle and fog. And tonight, we still have that in place. In fact, these temperatures are almost identical to the 5 o'clock readings. We just have a very stable air mass in place with not much wind and a lot of cloud cover. High moisture content. These are not conditions favorable for much cooling. So there's no threat of any ice tonight. In fact, in the morning, temps will be about the same, maybe knock off a couple degrees, about it for your overnight temps. And you can see the winds are very light, continuing to blow at around 5 miles per hour. So taking a look at the sat right here, we can see the white clouds here, or higher level clouds, are starting to come in advance of this upper trough. So the gray, that's a low cloud cover we had all day. We're starting to get some higher level clouds on top of that, and you can see some rain developing here across West Texas. That's our trough we've been talking about all week, that dashed white line. Well, here it comes. You can see on the water vapor imagery, it's right in here, that little twist in the upper atmosphere circulation, and that is what's heading our way for a chance of rain. Now, the whole thing is sped up just a little bit. So we're looking at the rain mainly going to be in the morning through maybe about sunset. After that, it should be over. We may get partial clearing tomorrow night, but I think over the weekend, not looking for a whole lot of sunshine here, because we'll continue to have very light winds and a lot of moisture at ground level, and the little inversion forms in the atmosphere and kind of traps all that stuff in the lowest part of the atmosphere where we live. It's not going to move out very fast, so I think we're looking at no rain this weekend, but a lot of clouds. Tomorrow, do you have these patches of light rain coming across, very random in nature, but in general, your chances of getting some will be higher the farther south you live. The model's pretty optimistic about getting some clearing on Saturday. I would say that's on the high end of reality there. I'm going to go with more of a mostly cloudy environment on Saturday, and we'll see what shakes out. But I don't think we'll have any rain this weekend for that situation there. Already pretty good for shopping. Dry but cool. Tonight, drizzle and fog. Now, notice temps are about where they are now for the lows. And then tomorrow, a little bit warmer, upper 40s, 50% chance of rain, but not a lot. Probably a tenth of an inch, maybe up to a quarter of an inch on the high end. Not as much as we had yesterday. 40 to 46 in Antlers Parish, about 42 to 46, and a rain chance 70% in Parish, but only 40% in Antlers. Big spread there. Looking at about 47 for you to 8 in Atoka. Start off again about where you are now with a 30% chance of rain in our northern zones. Heading west, 40% chance of rain. We'll do about a 49 tomorrow for you in Marietta, and 50 in Gainesville. 7-day forecast, you can see there the rain drops out for the weekend. Now take a look at next week. For Christmas Eve, 60 degrees and 62 on Christmas Day, but on Christmas Day night, December 25th evening, a strong front may come in, so there's a lot to watch in that 7-day forecast.
So we get a sunny Christmas.
It looks that way now. Stay tuned.
All right.
No guarantees.
We'll do that. All right. Thanks, Steve. Still ahead, News 12 at 10. The search continues for the suspect who shot a Texas meteorologist right outside the TV station. That meteorologist's condition, plus this sketch of what the suspect may look like. Welcome back. OSBI investigating, and a Carter County deputy on administrative leave after he shot an inmate he was transporting to the hospital. Lauren Smith brings us the details.
Carter County Sheriff Milton Anthony says one of his deputies has been placed on administrative leave after an incident earlier this week involving an inmate.
We did have a officer-involved shooting, and we did turn it over to OSBI to investigate it.
OSBI PIO Jessica Brown says Dustin Bacon was taken to Mercy Hospital in Ardmore for treatment on an injury to his arm on Tuesday.
When he was being transported back to the jail from the hospital about 6 o'clock that evening, Bacon, in the back seat of the patrol car, grabbed the deputy's gun from his holster.
That's when Brown says the deputy fought back.
The deputy immediately reached behind him and grabbed the gun. The gun went off, striking Mr. Bacon in the right side.
Brown says the deputy then immediately drove back to the hospital.
Mr. Bacon was then later transferred to a hospital here in Oklahoma City.
She says it's unknown whether or not Bacon was wearing handcuffs at the time of the shooting and how he was able to grab the deputy's gun.
Well, that's part of our investigation as to how that happened and what happened during the time he was in the vehicle up to the actual shooting.
Court records show Bacon has a history of violence, obstructing law enforcement, burglary, and escape from arrest or detention. Brown says he remains hospitalized but is expected to fully recover. The deputy involved was not injured. In Ardmore, Lauren Smith, News 12.
Thanks, Lauren. And the North Central Texas TV weatherman who got shot doing much better tonight after being shot right outside his station yesterday. Police still searching for the suspect. This is a sketch of what that suspect is believed to look like. KHOU reports that he is considered armed and dangerous, is described as a white male, 30 to 35 years of age, with a receding hairline, black hoodie, and dark-colored pants. According to police, a person exchanged words with Crawford, then fired several shots while Crawford tried to drive away. Coming up on News 12 at 10, donations continue to pile up for our annual Toys for Tots drive. And thanks to a huge donation by a local nonprofit, more families are going to benefit. We'll tell you who that organization is straight ahead. Welcome back. Well, Christmas, of course, definitely the time for giving. And one local nonprofit passing along their extra donations. The Children's Advocacy Center in Grayson County received so many toys for donations from individuals and local businesses that they had more than enough to serve the nearly 200 families that they serve. CAC then decided to pass along all those extra toys to the Toys for Tots drive. How about that? And members of our News 12 team unloaded a car full of toys today at our own donation site right here at the station. The executive director of the Grayson County Children's Advocacy Center, Martha Knuckles, says this year's generosity was just overwhelming.
It's a wonderful feeling that we can help the families that come to work with us. They've been through a lot, and it makes us feel good that we can help them. But the fact that we can then turn around and help others in the community, there's no comparison. It's not, you know, it doesn't compare to getting a gift. Giving a gift is much nicer.
Yeah, completely agree. Well, this CAC's 5th year in giving Christmas gifts to area children. The annual Shop with a Cop benefit was held at Durant Walmart this morning. The Durant Police Department spent the last month locating families in need, and this year is a record 127 children chosen to go shop with a cop, twice as many kids as last year. Texoma has donated over $12,000. That's $2,000 more than last year. Durant PD said they're proud to be doing this for the 6th year in a row.
They go out and they go shopping with them and get the kids the things that they need, which normally they wouldn't get for Christmas. It just makes them feel good to know that they're helping out families, children more than anything.
Durant PD says donations are still being accepted in person at the Durant Police Department. Coming up next in sports, DeMarco Murray takes aim at trying to be on the field Sunday, and the Dallas Mavs have a new point guard. Sports coming up next.
Now, your award-winning local sports coverage. Here's David Reed.
The Dallas Mavericks have pulled the trigger on a blockbuster as they swing a deal with the Boston Celtics to bring Rajon Rondo to Dallas. The Mavs are getting an all-star caliber floor general, leads the league in assists. He's the top rebounding guard in the NBA. His only weakness is that jump shot, just shooting 25% from three-point range this year and 40% overall. The Mavs are sending out a package of Brandon Wright, Jay Crowder, Jameer Nelson, a 2015 first-round pick, and a 2016 second-round pick. The Mavs also get rookie post player Dwight Powell in the deal. Rondo certainly gives the Mavs backcourt a boost. In a conference that has tons of talented point guards, now the Mavericks get theirs. The deal became official this evening. Thunder taking on the top-seeded Golden State Warriors tonight. Kevin Durant looking to fire beyond the arc, hits the three. Seconds later, another one up and down. KD scoring 3 3-pointers in less than a minute, and right now the Thunder have the lead in this one, actually just tied up 50-all as they play in the second. The Southeastern women's team playing their final game of 2014, taking on Oklahoma Wesleyan. Storm trailing in the first half. Here's Olivia Potter from the corner, nailing the deep jumper. Storm cutting into the lead later. Potter again, same spot, same result. She had 18 points in this one, and here's another one from Miss Potter. And Southeastern comes back to win this one, 74-64. They beat Oklahoma Wesleyan tonight. The Caddo Lady Bruins at home against their rivals from Colbert. First quarter, here's Shanda Sonor dialing it in from deep, put the points on the board for the Lady Leopards. But here come the Lady Bruins on the break. Casey Clower getting the lay in. Caddo gets the win tonight, 61-43. The Coleman Lady Cats have home court against Bennington. Pick it up second half. Here's Geneva Owens getting on the break, draws the foul and one. Lady Cats up big. Lady Bears trying to make a game of it. Kaylee Malone with the jumper. Not enough though. Coleman gets the win, 44-21. Back to Caddo. The Bruins hosting the Colbert Leopards on the boys' side. Third quarter, Shakona Vandenberg nailing the triple for the Leopards as they trail the Bruins early. Then here comes Caddo. Daniel Stone back up and in. Bruins with the win tonight, 48-40 over Colbert. Back to Coleman we go. The Wildcats hosting Bennington as well. In the first quarter, Cameron Hammond working down low, puts up the nice shot, gets the feathery touch. It goes in. On the other end, Damian Horath draining the deep ball for the Wildcats. Coleman wins a tight one, 50-49 off a Cooper Stevens game-winning three-pointer. The Dallas Cowboys continue to get ready for their big showdown with the Colts, and for the second straight day, DeMarco Murray takes the field as if he is preparing to play on Sunday. Murray worked out again with that protective glove to try and keep the broken bone in his hand out of harm's way. He worked on individual drills, still hasn't done the team stuff yet, but it appears to be gearing toward playing. He said today that the decision to play or not to play will be left up to him. Says the hand felt good today. Tony Romo says the Cowboys could sure use him.
You've all seen how special DeMarco is as a player. He's had a great season. I think he's going to do everything he can to play. So I think we're just going to do what we do and go from there.
The Tom Bean Tomcats are looking for a new head coach. Alan Cross out after 2 years with the Tomcats. He compiled a record of 7-13. Tom Bean went 3-7 this year, but they were very competitive. Lost to playoff teams S&S by 1 point, fell to Leonard by just 6 points. But the search for a new coach begins there in Tom Bean. And again, in case you missed it, the Mavericks have a new point guard, Rajon Rondo, coming to Dallas.
And we know what he'll look like in that jersey there,
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting for Maverick fans.
All right, good deal. Thanks, David. And the weather, a little bit roller coastery here, huh?
Definitely good for some inside sports, that's for sure. Take a look at our Futurecast high res, just overcast tonight, but some patchy light rain will come and go tomorrow. Nothing like what we had yesterday, but I would recommend an umbrella just to be on the safe side. Now, over the weekend, the rain drops out, but I wouldn't get too excited about a lot of sunshine here, cool and cloudy over the weekend, but up into the 60s for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's 64 on Monday, too.
Southwest
Don't even have to
winds.
wait till Christmas. All right. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.